Prefabrication, one of the biggest questions in the industry. Is it worth it? How do you quantify it? Is the site too far away? Should we prefab it on site? Should we prefab it in the shop? Should we prefab it all? Fortunately for me, I'm a very black and white person, and for me, numbers don't lie. So years ago, I developed a spreadsheet that I simply punch the information into it. It will tell me if it's worth prefabbing. It'll tell me if it's not worth prefabbing. Because as I said, numbers don't lie. If you don't have enough money in your checking book at the end of the week, your checks are going to bounce. It's that simple and that black and white for me. So what I did is I've taken my old spreadsheet and I've manipulated it to fit our needs. What we have here is we have a system on one of our job sites. It occurs 24 times. There's 110 feet, 40 fittings, 54 cuts, and 102 joints. This over here represents a field joint, which joints are going to be done on site. I've taken this from our BIM. I've color coded the way I see the fabrication coming out for the delivery truck, and what parts are done by the shop, what parts are done by the field. We're going to take all that information and we're going to put it in the spreadsheet, and it's going to tell us if it's something we should do or something we should not do. It starts out with assuming that we're going to do everything on site. What we have here is we have the number of joints and cuts. We have the material loading. We have the site fabrication setup time. These here are goals for cuts per hour and goals for joints per hour, which can be changed to fit our needs. Now, as I said, we have 24 repeats on this system. So we're going to punch that in. And we're going to go with, for now, the site crew rate, prevailing wage site crew rate for this project, which can change. So if we do this 100% on site and we do 24 systems based off this goal, we're going to run $32,877. That rolls right up over to here. As you can see, cost at 100% on site is $32,887. Now we're going to go through and we're going to punch in our other information. So we've got to, up here we have gas prices, driver delivery rate. We have driver delivery rate at halftime for the overtime. We have shop fabrication rate. We have site install rate, which is defaulted to the same as the lower sheet. We have number of drivers. We have total miles. We have miles round trip, and we have number of trips. So let's go with something like $3.29 for gas. Driver delivery rate, let's say something like 15 an hour. Shop fabrication rate, let's keep it on maybe even the high side. Let's go 23. Number of drivers, first off, let's go with miles round trip. That'll tell us how many drivers. It's about 650 miles round trip to this project. So you're going to have, you better have 2 drivers for safety. Number of trips, we're probably looking at 4 trips for this project. So we have 650 miles. We have 2,600 miles. We have our gas covered. So let's go down the sheet here. We've got 24. We have material loading. We have number of cuts. We have hours with our goals in it. So we have our factor at the shop for our hour rate. We have the fabrication loading at the shop. We have the fabrication unloading on site. We have our fabrication and packaging. I got that. We've got the drive time right there. We've got the gas. So the total cost for the shop is $9,330. Now down here you can see, before I started this video, for time, I went ahead and put how many joints for one system that we're going to do at the shop versus how many joints we're going to do on site. So right now, based off this plan, which is a field joint there, so you have 2 cuts there, you have 1 joint there, you have joints here. Based off of that plan, we're going to do 10 cuts on site, we're going to do 20 joints. you're going to do 44 here. We're going to do 82 here. Based off this plan, our total cost is now $15,000. So right now we're looking at saving 52% if we do this plan, do this amount on the shop and this amount at the site, which includes driving up there, driving back, overtime, and all the other factors. Now, at this rate, it appears like it's worth it. Let's go down and see if we can't change the crew rate to an average crew rate of, say, 53. I'm taking 20 some bucks an hour off this rate. Let's go up and see if it's still worth it. Okay, we're still saving 40%. It's going to cost us $13,000 if we do it at $53 an hour rate instead of $73, versus doing the same thing on site. So that's sort of an example of how this form works. I would now like to sit down with everybody and actually put actual numbers, real numbers, and it will simply tell us if we should fab something or if we shouldn't fab something. So thank you, and let's see what happens.